Приветик, не спящие, все остальные любители вводить текущее время. А время у нас, не буду таить, 22. Это значит где-то 22. Получается 11. 10. Тыньк. Ой. Пардоньте, не 11, 10. Погодите-ка. Пока не начали, могу я кое-что сказать. Спасибо, что правильно выставили время оба раза, что запускали игру. Да не за что. Многие относятся к этому как-то несерьезно, оставляют часы на 12 и торопятся дальше. А вы потратили время, чтобы выставить часы, и я это ценю. Да не за что. Это говорит мне о том, что вы играете внимательно, что для вас важны детали. А я ведь даже не сказал, правильное ли вы время... правильное ли вы время выставили. Давайте договоримся. Я вам так доверяю, что при следующем запуске игры просто выставьте на этом экране любое время. Выбирайте любое время, даже если оно неправильное, вы заслужили. А теперь можем вернуться к игре. Ха. Ну. Приятно. Наверное. А где продолжить? Я же вроде как... Должны же были быть сейвы. На это мы уже видели. Так. Раз уж у нас были страдания логодромного типа, давайте мы с вами немножечко все изменим, чтобы страдания логодромного типа превратились в страдания обыкновенного типа. Не уверен, поможет ли герцовка, но будем надеяться, что поможет. Хотя... Вроде как должна была. Угу.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Но я не хочу. Я не помню, куда я ходил. Пойду обратно.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Ты охренел? Сам ты козел. Вообще-то я ничего не имел против твоего сюрприза. Собирался сказать, что пойду на него посмотрю, но раз ты обзываешься, я пойду тогда дальше. Почему он ходит с таким странным звуком, как будто у него штаны настолько широкие, что трутся друг об друга? Эй! Ну вот.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Нет, не вошел.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
В смысле?
I'm not your enemy, really.
Неправда.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really?
Да.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Нет. Ну, дай мне сказать. Мне просто насрать. Это не значит, что я подозреваю тебя в чем-то плохом. Ты просто... Да мне просто насрать. Все. Опасность повсюду. Опасность — мое второе имя. Так что да, я повсюду. Хотя и не факт. Что это? Cargo. Так.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Так. А если я пойду не в красную дверь? Черт. Это выбор. Я не хочу его делать. Но если я пойду в синюю дверь, он рестартнет игру. Так ведь? Ключ-карта? Ни хрена себе. Я пошел в синюю.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Нет.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Ну, интересно же. Это всего лишь конец игры.
You see? There's nothing here.
Не совсем.
I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Определенно стоило.
Because I did. And in the end it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This one really feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Да! Вот это круто! Вот это молодец! Вот это улет! Еще и проем деревянный. Шикарно! Но теперь я не хочу туда. Собака. Придется все проходить. Ту ручку оторвал. Ладно, пойдем попробуем. Черт, она закрылась. Ладно.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Ушка.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ah! Доска лидеров. Жаль, только юзеры не настоящие. Энли. Смешно. Список друзей пуст. Ладно. Я схожу туда еще раз.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Не-не-не-не-не.
Honest answers, please.
Это отвратительно просто.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Ребенок,
You
да?
wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Давай, показывай.
Let me boot it up.
Оно опять загружается.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Обязательно.
You heartless bastard.
Сам ты бастард.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
Да. Так.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Так гораздо лучше, кстати. Не лагает, света нет. Так. Чего у тебя там? Давай, расчехляй свой карман. Ага. Ну давай. Что там? Ну же. Так. О.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it.
Что там написано?
What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Не, подожди. Я, кстати, эту игру не очень люблю. Она не очень прикольная. Ой. Стекло разбилось, что ли? Чего? Припасы для 2 вилок? Допустим. Так, Аляска, 89 май. Firewatch. Ну, сама по себе игра прикольная, да. Но не для меня. Мне не нравится. Вернее, не особо нравится. Посмотрел прохождение, да, было такое. Но играть самому, А у вас там, наверное, вообще трындец происходит. Что не может быть? Что такое? Что не так?
It's an open world game.
Вау!
Block it off.
Да, спасибо, так лучше.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Ну, по крайней мере, сделал нам кадры.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
А ну-ка. Рокет Лига. Да, давненько сюда не заходил.
Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Ah! Ой, я так быстро разогнался.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Да.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not
Почти.
a sportsologist.
На.
But if one ball generates
Ура.
a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls
Ай.
makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Да,
Try
увлекательней.
it out. Here
Давай.
comes another ball.
Два мяча.
Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it?
Круто.
Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Эх, по стенам не покататься. Больше шаров. Больше шаров. Да в смысле? Ты охренел? Ты... Что?
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Очень.
Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's
наконец-то.
over. Oh, what are you doing?
Я не специально. Что это?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Наконец-то он заткнулся. Да, мне здесь нравится больше. О. Как интересно. Так. Ой. Что это за место? Я не помню такого в оригинале. Эти звуки из халвы. Приятно. О, кажется, какой цвет. А? Показалось. Ну что ж, в темноте бродить приятней. Вернее, в тишине. Такой, более-менее. Хотя и не факт. Я так подозреваю, он сейчас опять начнет трындеть, и трындеть, и трындеть, и трындеть. Так, а я в этой комнате, кстати. Что он? Он сидел здесь или что? А? Нет, это немножко другая комната. Но тем не менее. Ладно. Ой.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Угу. Конец, который никогда не закончится. Что ж, а сегодня мы идем сюда.
Stanley, come over here.
Иду. Да-да.
I want to show you something.
Показывай. Только не раздевайся. О, нет. Я вспомнил, что это. Это зона памяти. Твою мать. Это же она, да?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Да.
Just our little secret.
Это она.
Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've
Ну,
been storing all
в принципе,
my
мы здесь были.
memories, so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever
Поэтому
I want.
можно просто
Experiences
пройти
like the launch of
насквозь.
the Stanley Parable on PC.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games.
Выпусти меня.
10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevated content.
Наконец. О нет, он теперь держать нас будет еще и здесь.
Here's another message, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable
Грёбаное
is both
ревью.
a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game.
Да,
9
да.
out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was
Текстуры
perfect.
ковров.
It didn't need anything else. It didn't
Соус
need new
SDK.
content. It just needed to
Передвигай
be
объекты,
left
создавай
alone
уровни
to spend the rest of time
графика.
collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Они не могут ничего. Подожди, что? Люди играют в игры, потому что... Потому что они могут делать это внутри них. Играя в игру, играешь в игру. И ваша игра очень хороша в том, что говорит им о том, что они не могут ничего. Что? Что?
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Хотя и не
But
по...
I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Портал. Черт, давно я в Портал не играл.
Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Да.
What's this? What's down here?
Это...
No.
Да.
No.
Да.
It's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
По-моему, мы здесь в прошлый раз не допрошли. Открывай дверь. Ай, больно.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Хороший обзор.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh, dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
Вот, кстати, правда.
I wish there was a skip button.
О, это ж та кнопка. Точно.
Well, yes.
Да.
I think we can do that. If
Да.
I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Вот она.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun a monologue, and it goes something like this.
Я собирался сказать, что меня попросили посмотреть на эту кнопку поподробнее. Но, к сожалению, заспойлерили, что она делает. Ну да ладно. Время там час. Не так уж и много промотал. Да.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Больше.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, a window or something like that. Stanley!
Да, что?
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer.
Ой, да ладно.
There's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely
Да
gone.
подумаешь, дверь.
Looked at it from every angle.
Ну и что? Ага. Так.
And there's no door, Stanley.
Никакой двери. Нет двери. Только мы и кнопка. Что будет дальше? Промотает 24 часа?
I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews.
Да?
Those reviews
нет.
that I couldn't get out of my head. I just
Вообще-то не совсем.
ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important?
Если бы ты заткнулся, я бы на нее не нажимал, но ты не затыкаешься.
Oh, Stanley.
А? Да.
You're back.
Да.
Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Ага.
Stanley,
Только я тебе не отвечаю. Какой смысл? А? Так. Ага. Ого. Все верно. Да. Вернее, нет.
But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close.
Что это?
Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
Нет.
Was I scared
Это не совсем так работает.
Yes.
Ну, в смысле, что в целом, вне зависимости от наблюдателя, ты будешь существовать, как бы. Хотя и не факт. Есть некоторые вариации, когда в зависимости от наблюдателя что-то существует, а что-то нет. Ну да ладно. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence. Я чувствую.
Button for the next time. What a terrible dread.
А я чувствую.
To think of it. To think of returning to such coldness. Come. Let us sit
А я чувствую, что вот-вот кнопка будет нажата.
Let us not run from it. Oh, hello, it's you.
Да?
All here again, welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
Так.
I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me.
Он что, помер? Наверное, надо было его дослушать. Знаете, а здесь стало спокойнее. Ну, когда он наконец заткнулся. Можно выдохнуть. Кайф. Так, что тут у нас? Это же не то ведро. Что ж, больше, видимо, здесь делать нечего. Угу. А почему упали часы? А. Они даже прибиты ни к чему не были, да? Они даже уже не идут. А сигнал-то с чего сработал? Странно. Ну ладно, продолжаем.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart.
Я, пожалуй, дальше пойду. А? Он наконец-то заткнулся. Снова. Что происходит? Почему он затыкается? Я не против, но мне просто интересно, почему он это делает. А? Мы что, затонули? Мотнем?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Это явно нехорошо.
Never the end, is 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 never the end is never the end.
Да, это определенно нехорошо. А он, походу, поплыл. Я уж было решил, что сейчас тут появится звезда пятиконечная перевернутая и начнется вот это вот. Ну, начнется. Меня выдадут БФГ, и тут полезут демоны, но нет. Вот это вот плохо. Походу нас затопило, и комната куда-то катилась на дно. Ага. А сколько раз? Вернее... Сколько времени мы пропустили? Ну, по крайней мере, свежо. Да, мне нравится этот концепт. Черт, прикольно. Продолжаем. Лагучий свет. Ну, по крайней мере, у нас теперь есть выход наружу. Двери, правда, нет. Ну да ладно. Можно по трубе вылезти в целом. Да и тут, в общем-то, стремянка была. О. Туда еще и жизнь просочилась. Как интересно, я надеюсь, она не затронет кнопку. Иначе будет грустно. А куда делась вся растительность? Подозрительно. Другой вопрос. Я уж был... Их, оказывается, камнем завалило. А я собирался спросить, кто их украл. Глюки? Глюки. Продолжаем. В конце концов, остались только мы. И кнопка, которую, к сожалению, больше не нажать. Сколько лет прошло? Или столетий? Как давно мы здесь? Что случилось с этим миром? Океаны пересохли? Люди вымерли? А солнце все так же на месте. Не взорвалось, не увеличилось, и ничего с ним не произошло. Ну а мы с вами продолжаем этот увлекательный путь по пустыне, в которой нет ничего, кроме комнаты и большой желтой кнопки. Вот это была классная концовка. Мне понравилось. Круто.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Так.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Да-да. Новый контент. Что ж, я...
Oh, good.
Почему бы
You
нет?
noticed my sign.
Да.
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Ну, показывай. Чего ты там понаделал? Я надеюсь, это... не желтая кнопка. Что, опять
You see,
загрузка?
Stanley, I've been reflecting
Что?
on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
Так.
So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Не сказал бы. Хотя новая игра была бы кстати. Ну, знаете, не Stanley Parable, например.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Ворона. За ворону плюс. Ты... сиквел. Спасибо, конечно, но я не сиквел. Каждая кнопка паузы... это... романское число 2. Вау. Вероятно. Хотя и не факт. Ну, пойдем. Посмотрим. О, ни хрена себе, целый автобус с новым контентом. Вау. Круто. Оу, no. Кажется, мы здесь были.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Новые фичи. Я не хочу пробовать новые фичи. Не делать скриншотов. Ну, извините, у меня кнопка со скриншотами не работает. Improvements. А если нажать print screen? Все равно не работает. Ну и ладно. Ну и не надо. А если нажать F12? Вдруг она регистрирует нажатие клавиш, а не скриншоты. Регистрирует. Ну и ладно. Ну и не надо. О! В смысле они на русском? Чего? А? Чего? А? А? Какого? Ладно. Допустим. Вы здесь. Ну, спасибо, игра. Коллектаблы. Нет, спасибо. Халявное достижение. Ачивмент. Оно просто работает.
Now here's something special. You
Да-да.
remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Ага.
You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Да-да, конечно, конечно. Когда-нибудь. Обязательно. На самом деле есть концовка, где она работает. Только никому об этом не говорить.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Прыжковый круг! Только у меня прыжки кончились.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Ага. Мерч. Скажешь что-нибудь по поводу мерча? Не скажет. Ну и не надо. Так, где тут у вас бесконечная дыра? Ага. Вижу, вижу. Коллектаблы подождут. Хотя... Нихера тут нет. Investor Showcase. Какой интересный журнал. Так. Я своего рода тоже инвестор.
Collectibles.
Хотя и не факт.
In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
А можно не надо? Я не хочу.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Кажется, я нашел вашу бывшую. А? Никаких скриншотов. Она присылала нюдисы?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration. Like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Поправляйся когда-нибудь с счастливым 12-м днем рождения. Степ низ. Что? Степ-низ, это как? Ну, допустим.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Удила.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're
Меняй! Меняй свое решение!
You've already made your choice.
Меняй свое решение!
Badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
В смысле на своих ошибках? Я не ошибся, выбирай! Меняй свое сраное решение! Я выбрал синий шарик. А ты мудила, все испортил. Так, но мы направлялись к вашей бывшей. Пойдем навестим. Вдруг она чего нового расскажет. Хотя вряд ли. Разве это глубина? Как можно измерять пространство-время в двухмерном графике? Что это? Это просто продолжает происходить. Ну, допустим. О! Educational? Может, educational? Educational. Наука! Что это вообще такое? Так, интересно. Ну, это примитивно.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Бесконечная дыра, в которой ты можешь падать вечно. Это что, алкоголизм? Наркотическая зависимость? Наркоманы нас догнали? Или все-таки это отголоски бывшей? Слышите? Слышите это? Не мои деньги. Слышали? Кто-то что-то сказал. Не моя косметика. Опять? Это она. Наверняка. Может быть, она потерялась там? Или это она и есть? Я не хочу в нее входить снова. Страшно. Хотя ладно. Что ж, рискнем. У-ху!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Я не хочу. Хотя...
Great.
О,
I'm
круто.
very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Клево, но мне понравилось. Ху.
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now.
Да.
Did you really need to see it again?
Да.
I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole.
Да, правда.
It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them.
Оу, кажется, она
How about we
закончилась.
go ahead and press that teleport button again, so we can get back to what's really important about...
How about now?
Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. To be
Да.
honest with you, I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on! Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look,
Что?
things got a little heated there. I think we
Это
both said some things we didn't
мы
know.
оба? Это
Why
ты
don't we
один.
just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Почти бесконечно.
You
Нет.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on.
Я не
I'll just be
хочу.
up here when you're ready.
Ну, жди. А я не хочу. Мне нравится здесь. Прикольный колодец. Тут бумажки, окурки. Все. Странно. Она вроде была больше. Вернее, длиннее. То есть эта дырочка... Эта точка должна была быть реально точкой прям, а не вот такой вот дыркой. Неужели придется возвращаться? Или просто подождать? Ха, ладно. Знаешь, мне кажется, я не наигрался. Закроешь дверь? А, ее тут нет. Больше дырки. Нет, не был. Не люблю я дырки слишком сильно. Бам.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before.
Так и есть.
Admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Давай.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
Да ладно тебе.
So much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
А я еще не наигрался. Чего ты какой мудила? Смотри, как прикольно.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Ай!
Wow.
Да.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here?
Давай
I have
выясним.
no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Да.
Oh, there it is.
О,
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity.
да и стакана,
with a
по-моему, там
very
не было.
aggressive divot.
Знаешь, есть вероятность, что можно упасть в нее.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth...
Неправда, я не одержим дырами. Чего подобного.
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Пэм. А?
Is the, teleport button not working?
Ага.
You sure?
Да.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Но я не хочу. Ну ладно.
Still nothing?
Я.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Пока.
I couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Как будто ты против. Ты что, завидуешь? Теперь у меня есть дыра, а у тебя нет. Я всего лишь жалкий наратор, который там что-то говорит у себя за монитором. Вот и все. Даже я лучше, чем ты. А? Что происходит? Дырка? О, дырочка. Может быть, правильнее будет тебя назвать углубление? Ну... А! Что? Куда ты едешь? Не надо. Ты и так была прекрасна. Не надо. Черт. Ну ладно. Хотя и не факт. Но мы куда-то едем. Плохо это или хорошо? Не уверен. Но мы определенно куда-то едем. Меняем перспективу. Ба! Ба! Бам! Еще раз. Бам! Ходить, правда, нельзя. Бам! Так. Что дальше? Да, так круче.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger.
Ну вот, по кругу понеслось. А зачем надо наперед было разворачивать? Это откуда?
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
А,
Oh,
что?
good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there.
Ты же ушел.
Drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley.
В смысле нельзя?
This hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Мудила. Поехали дальше. Ну давай. Пора отправляться. Ай, в смысле? Мы снова здесь.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Да не хочу я! Отстань! Ладно. Сегодня, я думаю, мы достаточно наиграли. Это было специально для того человека, который это просил. Ну, в общем, как-то так. Ладненько, продолжим с вами в следующий раз. Ну, а пока что такие дела.